If there's one video of mine that you watch, please let it be this one. As you know, I was a very conservative Christian for 33 years of my life. I took mushrooms when I was still a Christian, had a very traumatic experience, which I have opened up about on here a little bit. But one thing I haven't talked about is how my experiences with plant medicine showed me the shadow side of Christianity. Carl Jung talked a lot about how Christianity is very imbalanced because it focuses way too much on the light. And because of that, it has a very, very dark shadow. And I experienced very viscerally how my own body was holding this shadow after 33 years of being a Christian. I had nightmare after nightmare after nightmare of women being chained in basements of churches and starved to death, of women having rituals performed over them so that they could then be scalped and not realize what was happening, of people eating glass in churches as a sacrament and bleeding from their mouths. Jung also talked about how the last 2,000 years have been the age of Christ and how we're now entering what he called the age of the Antichrist, which is basically a collective reckoning with the shadow side of Christianity. He believed that until the church could integrate its darkness, meaning the feminine, rage, chaos, sexuality, that the shadow side of Christianity would continue to be projected outward in violence. And this is so apparently obvious by what is happening on the planet right now. Christianity is not what people think it is. Well, I mean, if you're on the outside, if you're not Christian, it's probably what you think it is. But for people who are Christian, it's not what you think it is. To quote Jung, it is a fearful thing to fall in the hands of the living God, because he is not only the perfect loving Father, but also a being with a terrifying shadow. There is no wholeness or healing collectively without light and dark. The darkness that we project onto Satan is our own darkness. And until we integrate that, the shadow side of Christianity is going to continue to wreak havoc.